Welcome back to the Nexus. Shalom, shalom. Quickly, Torah chat, Torah discussion, and pretty much all things biblical and beyond, which we're going to get to today. James the Idol Smasher at gmail.com. Thank you so much for coming back and joining us. We appreciate your interactions here on Rumble, and right now we're on YouTube for a little while. And you can always get a link to this at the Orphans of Abraham on Facebook. We get to set up a new account, paid account with Twitter, so that we can kind of get the synergy going right now. But I've used the extra placeholder where we can, so we're also on Facebook. And again, thanks for having me here. Hopefully, Rosalie, maybe get Carla and John in here. But it's just hit me that my radio's still on, so excuse me. We don't need to be hearing DXers. Okay. It's always in the background. It's always on. It's always in my head. It's like, it's lighter than air. It just floats in your head. You don't even know it's there. And then when it's time to turn it off, you don't even know. Okay. So enough of making excuses about my obsession with radio. Radio is awesome, by the way. If there's anything else you want to talk about besides Torah with me, it would be radio of any kind or sort. But hey, it's time to talk Torah. Now, this week's Parsha is actually quite compelling, and this is it does. I mean, it's good to find something relevant that's relevant today in the Torah portion that you're reading. It doesn't always work out like that, but today was something that kind of struck out when you read Vayikra, the book of Deuteronomy. It's a retelling. It's Moses's last speech. It's Mishnah is what they call it. It's a retelling of everything that's happened in the previous 4 books, which is prophecy. This book right here is Moses himself, and taken down by the sages and by the prophet Joshua, most likely. It's quite compelling when put up to my own nation, the United States, because the Jewish people, for the past few thousand years, have kept an account of what makes them a nation, and they pass it on. And there have been traditions that have outlasted the centuries. Traditions before the Temple of Rome, the Herod Temple, the Second Temple, they call it. This is something that goes back to Sinai, and he's reminding the people half of them were actually there. It was 40 years, it was 2 generations, but not everybody died off. The elders of the nation were there at Sinai, experienced these the many wanderings and lessons and challenges and revelations that the Israelites had been on since leaving Egypt. And he's retelling them anyway. Tell your children, teach this. It's a statute for the rest of your generations. It's always there. It keeps the nation strong. He's reminding them who you are and why. Israel is what he's basically saying. This is where you've been. Don't forget. He says it again. He even gave the 10 Commandments again, as if we haven't had enough law. Never have enough law. No, let me rephrase that. Never have enough Torah law. Okay, because when if you're the United States, oh yeah, I mean the laws of men are just the greatest thing that ever bestowed the United States of America are the laws of men. Now, in contrast to my own nation, that in 2 generations we have completely forgotten. I say we as a nation. I say a youth don't know, don't care, aren't going to do a damn thing to salvage it. And that's why I entitled tonight, The Fractured States of America. Everything you read in the Torah portion this week, at least the first 4 days, are compelling. The greatest prophet who ever lived would never enter the promised land. He'd been a vessel for God's word to the people, save Sinai, and a few other events. But for the most part, he's been the lawgiver. From God to you, here's Moses. And he will not enter the promised land. He even gets mad at them a little bit, but for your iniquities I stay, and for his own. and he's only human, and God loved him till the end. Now let me see this land. I'm taking them. You've told me about it. I've listened to you. I've led them there. Let me just give me more time. We've got so much more to do. And God said, here's a mountain. Go look up there. You'll see it, but you're not going in. I wonder how much that was for the Israelite as well. Joshua would lead them into there. That's spoken of in the portion today too. It's Joshua who leads. Joshua is the prophet. The Spirit of God is with him. So they're in good hands. Good old Joshua. And I fear that my own country has not done this, has not gone like we ever do in America, really gone the way of the Israelite, gone the way of of just basic teachings. And I didn't know most of my life, half of my life, I wouldn't have known any of this. No one looks at their Bible. No one knows that this is a guide for the living, not something to prepare you for the preparation of the preparedness that this preparedness is going to prepare you for, so that this day happens and everybody's high. Whatever they teach in Christianity these days. No, Christians don't actually study their Bible and don't really care what God wants. They only know what they want from God because that's all they're taught. They don't know any better. The only thing that's going to save the American people, because we're going to need each other, in spite of our government, in spite of our cops and our army, we need each other. The United States is not going to last. I don't think. I think this is it. I think it's going to be gone by the time I die. I think my kids are going to see its full demise. Maybe there'll be civil war. Maybe we can just break up into different. Something's going to happen, but this will not go on. What's happening? And there's nothing Trump can do, because even Trump could make it great for 4 years, and he was just starting to get there on his first 4 terms, and in a lot of ways. But look how easily all good things can end. Now, I remember praying to God, we need this. America could really need this, please. Donald Trump. And then I saw the amount of cheating and I'll just remind everybody who doesn't know, there were wagons of ballots and red wagons being brought into Detroit when they put all the boards up on the walls and kicked all the poll vote watchers out and all the press. Or when they said there is a fake water bust in Atlanta, and then we see them, they kick all the poll watchers, all the press out, and then pull out a bunch of ballots. And suddenly in that very same time, there is a 148,000 Biden vote spike. And then it goes. It's an anomaly. It's not an anomaly. We all know what happened. Look how easily it takes to just take it all away. Remember those people clinging to planes in Afghanistan? I don't think there's a Democrat in this country that didn't cream their jeans. These are not good people. We've let them go. Communism has infiltrated the entire Democrat Party, and they're teaching the kids this too. My God, I'm in Kansas, and they have segregated classes, not classes, the groups, the extracurricular groups. School sponsors the segregation of kids so you can have a safe space from whitey. They rant about Black America being Black history being American history, but they demand a separate class. And get it. You have kids walking around with their little animal. Everyone's there's a big thing called furries, and the kids now. This is in a few schools, not in mine, the one that we're at, but that could be changing here. You never know. Well, they wear tails. They clip tails on the back of their belt loops or whatever, and they'll wear a little headdress that has a little animal ears on them, and they wear these to school. They go in pretending to be animals. If you can convince your kids this stupid shit, or if you're a generation that allows your kids to go into this stuff where men can be women, Jews can be Nazis, then you don't deserve to live. We are our own demise, and I'm not going to deny I had my own ignorant hand in it, and I got to live with it. That's just the end of it. I don't think I'm going to get out of here. I like to visit Israel. I'm putting a little money aside every day. I'll probably be 90 when I get it, but we got to pay. And maybe God doesn't want, because I wanted Trump to win. It would have been so good for a lot of people. A lot of people were happy that he was a president. The Brits were happy. The Russians weren't unhappy. They gave after, there's supposed to be a scuffle between the two, between Putin and the next thing you know, the championship soccer ball was given to the United States. Why? Because Donald Trump wanted to end child sex trafficking. Did Obama? Does Biden? So there's a good chance that, God might allow Trump to be elected and then kill him. Because for a country that claimed him so much, for a country that thumps the Bible so much and has all the pendants, we have spit in his eye. If God had an eye to spit in, we spat in it. If God wears a yarmulke, we shat in it. And it's just the way it is. We can't stop it. It's over. And it breaks my heart. From here forward, the only thing I could recommend is the only thing that works, or that's ever worked for me. And that's Torah. Studying Torah. And yes, you have to go to one of them Jewish rabbis. Orthodox, religious anyway, Jewish rabbi, if you want to learn Torah. You can't go, you're not going to find it in Christianity. Guys, I'm sorry. Islam certainly is, Quran preservation, I looked into that, and that's a tough one because, it's a really tough one because when you reject the Torah, you reject something that really can't be, what do you call it? It can't be corrupted. It's numerical. It's mathematical. If you corrupt it, it's obviously corrupted. And, they've just done a wonderful job of many things and screwy jobs at others. The Jewish people have kept it together. They're still a nation to this day through thousands of years. We couldn't survive 2 generations of deep communist infiltration of every last one of our institutions, half of our religions. Your education system is a farce. Look what happened with COVID. We should have been the one country that didn't do all that stuff. And we did. Why? Because we are a weak, feckless people. I know I'm being negative here. I just read that Parsha, and there's a link to it down below. It's where does it start? It's Deuteronomy. If you want to get into reading it, it's really good. It starts Deuteronomy chapter 3, verse 23 is where it begins. Go for it. We'll get to the Haftorah reading in that in a little bit as well. And hit that like, subscribe button and algorithm, and I'll do all the things. Yes, please. I'm here because I need verification from strangers and my friends. I'm kidding. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know. Why would I be here when I know there's no, the United States and all that's gone. So what do we do with it from here on out? Because we're not going anywhere. The people aren't going anywhere, and we do need each other. And the only thing I can say is Torah. It'd be the only thing worthy of Jews staying in this country. Otherwise, I'd say, get the hell out and go home where you belong. There's nothing for you here. Someone is very upset out there. I can hear that. Yes. I think she might have had to get her hair brushed. And my autistic daughter does not like her hair brushed. Loves the way she looks once it's brushed. Mama gets it all fixed up in her ponytail or whatever. Loves that. Looks in the mirror. But boy, the process of brushing her hair takes strong folk. So if I'm wrong, and I hope I am, that we will survive as a nation. Not like a one nation under God, which is nice. But I mean as a nation under liberty. We're going to have a lot of work to do. And the ball's already rolling. The avalanche has already started. The cracks in the foundation are already there. And they've been there since, I'd say, the 60s. It came to us during the first socialist revolution, the whole progressive bit, World War I. Yeah, we like to forget about that war. Why? Oh, my God, the whole thing was in black and white. Why would you study a war that's only in black and white? God, right? Like, I don't even care. I was like on COVID lockdown, and I just don't care. I listen, but like, I don't remember anything. God, why should I? And now those are the people teaching my kids. That's my generation. The ones that thought gangster rap and matching boot, jean, pants, a shirt, country line dancing was cool. Thought Nirvana was a guitar god. Yeah, these are the people that grew up and had children, and I'm one of them. Although I try to catch on there at the end of my first marriage, I'd found Judaism, I'd found Torah, and I clinged. But even then, I wandered 10 years or 7 years before I ever did anything with my life. We're just losers, and nothing can help us. Sadly, nothing can help us except Torah. Start with the 7 laws, and make peace with Israel. If you can't make it with your local Jews, at least make it with them in your heart before you and God, because sending money so that Ukraine can further be flat-landed. I mean, don't you understand that our support of the Ukrainian war? I say our support. It's the communists. It's Joe Biden. It's Democrats. And I mean little d Democrats, my neighbors, the little people. You are the worst pieces of human tripe. You make Republicans look human. And you're the best reason it is for this country to burn. Nothing good comes from you. Nothing good will ever come from you. You are stupid enough to do what you did in 2020, 2022. You were stupid enough to support your Black Lives Matter, Antifa, riot, communist socialist riots, where they just burned cities down. And you say, well, they just don't know no better. You know, these poor black people were locked up in their houses, and so they're just upset. But that we can lend our white hand to them and help these poor little people up. Because without the big, strong white man's hand, these poor little people will never make it anywhere. Vote Democrat, because we're going to help you little people. And there's a fudge load of Americans who are like backing that up, are like, please feed me. I'm on my knees with my hands behind my back and my mouth is open. Feed me. I'll do whatever you say. Save me. That's why I back off of Trump so much. I love Donald Trump and what he did for our country. Looking back, I love him more, but there's so much sycophantism with him too. It's like, gag me. We got to watch that stuff. And usually they do, but there's still some of that sycophantic. I mean, he locked us down, or he suggested it. He didn't do anything. He didn't call out the Insurrection Act when he could have. He didn't do a lot of things he could have done as a president, but he did say we're going to slow the spread. And a lot of people went with him, and that was just pure evil. And it upsets me because the kids today would do it again in a heartbeat. They are the snitch on your neighbor types. That's the kind of people you're talking about. Kamala voters. These aren't good. This isn't good. Even the Democrats should have had a choice. But Democrats, like I say, they're not human. Y'all turned communist, and you're too busy taking sides in the polarization of America. You can't stand back with some of us and just see it for what it is. So I'm going to get off of YouTube here and really rant on Rumble, and I hope that you'll join me there. It's the DNC. There's a lot going on. I don't see folks really tuning in tonight, and that's okay. I didn't want to be here either. You know, half the time I do these Nexus, I don't even want to do it because of just the sheer work digitally it takes to get this thing up and running on 3 platforms and social media. And I'm using a laptop, which is the wrong thing to do, but I have no other place to do a show except here in my Radio Shack. And there's always something to do with the kids, and it never gets cool in this room. It's cool the rest of the time, but anytime I come here to do a show, there's a lot more heat. And look, I'd rather have a full church than an empty one. And I'm not a Christian, but Christians, y'all need to get off your ass, and go to Torah. Okay, you've turned enough cheeks, and now your children are stupid, empty-headed, proud buffoons. And it takes everything I can to unbuffoon my own kids, because the wife's not really into this stuff. You know, she's a good mom, but the bigger picture, you know, not her thing. So let's talk turkey. Let's talk the real deal over on Rumble. YouTube, thanks for keeping my videos up as long as you have. You haven't taken us down yet. And although we did have a couple bad actors come in past Hangouts years ago, I got them off in time. No strikes on my page. So, you know, I do appreciate all the years that you have given this show over the time. But y'all have It's just sad to see what happened to you. By the way, speaking of YouTube, Mr. Beast creeped me out from the get-go years ago, and I knew he was a fake. I knew it was fake from the get-go. There's those teeth. Oh, seriously. And then I watch him. It's empty. He's empty. But it had millions by it, a million of subscribers. Oh, I might as well subscribe too. All the cutest thing. Oh, this neat for kids. And look what's happening. Disney, same thing. Nickelodeon, you all know that. Well, now it's in our schools. All right, YouTube.